All right, I said this once before and I'll say it again. JLab is one of those companies that proves you don't have to have super expensive products to serve a basic need really well. And the JLab Go Air Sport fits that perfectly because these only cost $30 and they give you everything you need without really feeling like you miss anything. But I know where the money went in these. My guess is JLab was focused namely on sound quality and also the battery life because they know most people won't just use these for the gym. A lot of people are going to want to wear these all day long and really know that it's just going to function. They can not have to pull out their phone with all the touch control features that you get, or they don't really have to charge them for long periods of time because you have 8 hours in each earbud and you can use each earbud independently. But there's going to be some compromises like no wireless charging, for example, or no speak to chat, or maybe the sound quality is not going to be as good as Sennheiser or something. But you're not really thinking that when you're using a pair of $30 true wireless earbuds. You're just thinking, wow, for the price I paid, these really delivered. So in going over the specs real quick, there is 3 different equalization settings. So you have the JLab signature sound setting, the even sound of being balanced, and then the bass boost. There's 32 plus hours of Bluetooth playtime. The ear hug design is really flexible and I had no issues with comfort. I'll get to fit in a second. But the clear calls with the C3 call technology is another feature, and they're IP55 sweat and splash proof resistant. Now there's 3 different earbuds that come with these, and I gotta say right out the box, the medium, I'm assuming these are medium in there, fit perfectly for me. And with the fit, I'll just kind of throw them on because I have glasses on. It's a little tricky, and I kind of, trying to do this while recording a video at the same time is a little tricky. But with putting them on with glasses on, I would say sometimes I run into the issue you just saw right there, where it would hook over my glasses, but I just did it weird because I'm recording a video. One thing I do want to say, besides them fitting well with glasses on, obviously, as you can see, is they really have a lot of passive noise isolation, and I felt like I had to even talk louder, and I'm trying not to talk too loud for the microphone's sake, but the passive noise isolation is highly underrated when it comes to JLab products. And if you're using these for the gym, the fact that there's no active noise canceling, I think that's even a bigger benefit that they probably should have mentioned, because as long as you get the right ear tip, the right ear gel tip or whatever I'm trying to say in, and you really twist it in and make sure it fits right, you will notice that right out the bat. So for me, that's a huge benefit that they didn't mention. I wish they did, because then that makes it even perfect for the gym even more. Because when you're in the gym, you never know what you're going to get. They're playing music that you probably don't care to listen to, or you're hearing people talk and slamming weights, and you want to subdue that as best you can. And it does really well with lows going into the mids, where people talking and this things like that will be subdued. Fans blowing, AC or heater vents, whatever's going on in the gym like that will be suppressed. So it's not going to be ANC obviously, but I really did like that, how the fitted with glasses on and the passive noise isolation. So let's get into the sound quality of these. Now with the sound quality, I will say they're not a pair of earbuds, like I said, that are going to give you Bose or Sennheiser sound quality. But for me, I left it on balance the most and bass boosted the most, because when it was bass boosted, the only compromise is, yeah, it's going to, when you turn it up pretty loud, drown out a little bit more of the details in rock music or something like a Jason Mraz or things like that, those genres. But it was incredible with hip hop and rap music, of course, because I obviously felt my music more and it didn't sound overpowering or anything like that. But if I put it on the JLab sound signature setting, that EQ setting I felt like was way too mid-heavy, whereas balance was as good and slightly better, not better than AirPods Pro, but better than regular AirPods. So for me, I think that's pretty impressive, given that regular AirPods cost way more than these. I mean, 4 or 5 times the amount. And sure, they're syncing well with Apple products, but it's not worth that kind of money if these sound better. So I left it at balance. It fit everything, including podcasts and audiobooks and things like that, for my liking without it sounding overbearing, namely because of listening to music loud or podcasts loud. That's something a lot of people don't talk about either. When people talk about sound quality, they're like, oh, the bass was good. Or I like this setting because it just got louder. It's like, no, like the reason why I like the balance sound the most is because it was easiest on my ears for loud durations, and it fit every single genre to my liking, namely because I want to hear detail in my music. I don't want it to be overpowering. Now, with that being said, let's see if these are good enough to take a phone call in the gym or a loud environment, and obviously if you're just in your quiet office or something. All right, so what you're hearing now is the JLab Go Sport microphones. In my quiet office, my heating vent just went off and it's actually under my desk. And so I can hear it a little bit, but again, the passive noise isolation is pretty dang good. So I'm going to play ambient noise now, and I have it playing at about 70 to 80 decibels, so it's right behind me over here. And you're hearing it on the camera onboard microphone now. So let's go ahead and switch it to the earbuds. Now what you're hearing is the microphones on the earbuds themselves. So in my opinion, I think it does decent enough for $30 earbuds, where I'm like, okay, it's hard to complain about that. And then here's the after. I just stopped playing the background noise, so you can hear the difference. So I hope that helped. Now, after that microphone test, what do I think about the touch controls? Now, here's one cool thing I did test accidentally. So I have these gloves where you can still touch your phone and touch screens or whatever it's called. I was able to touch these with those gloves on. Now, obviously, it was only the thumb and the index finger where the gloves are I'm able to touch my screen with when I have those on. It still worked. So the touch controls are pretty strong and accurate. I didn't have any glitches or latency issues, and even with sound quality, I didn't have latency issues. But here's what I really appreciated I didn't have latency issues with. Now, I use Duolingo because I'm trying to learn Spanish, and it picks up your microphones every now and then. And JLab actually did incredibly well, where it would pick up my microphones and it wouldn't treat it like a phone call. It would just open up the mics right away and then close the mics when the learning lesson where I had to repeat a sentence or whatever would open up. And there are some earbuds, like I've even had this issue with Bose, where I would be trying to learn Spanish with that app, and every time it told me to repeat a sentence, I mean, it would pause, it would like mess up. I wouldn't even hear what I had to say sentence-wise or any of that. And that's really aggravating for a pair of 279 true wireless earbuds. But these for 30 bucks didn't give me that issue. So that's one thing a lot of people don't talk about either, is latency in the context of overall usage, not just I'm not noticing latency of me watching a video. Of course, at this point, you're not going to notice that with newer products coming out. But what about things like microphone and strong connection with stuff like that? But again, for 30 bucks, it's really hard to find complaints. I mean, one complaint I have for sure is how much earwax builds up on the ear tips. I feel like they're like a magnet for earwax. But other than that, I don't really have any issues with the ear hook design, how flexible it is, the touch sensors, or how it feels a little bit cheaply made, but it's kind of like, it's a very basic pair of true wireless earbuds. I'm not looking for anything fancy. And of course, the case is pretty massive, but I think that goes along with the 32 plus hours of battery life that you get. I mean, of course the case is going to be big. And yes, there's no charging brick that comes with these, but those are like super minor complaints where I just didn't even care. I really didn't even care. Now, the only other thing I kind of wish I would have got is the yellow ones, because I think those look better than these. But again, JLab did send these out for reviews, so definitely appreciate them for doing that. No complaints there. But just going on one more complaint is I wish there was more colors, but I don't know if these are going to sell too well. So maybe that's what they're doing, is testing it out and they come with colors later, which is very smart to do. But I really like the yellow ones, and I like bright colored earbuds all of a sudden. Like, I'm really liking companies that are doing that. Like bright yellow, bright red, bright blue, green, all this stuff. Like neon colors. I think that's sick and dope. So JLab, if you're watching this, please come out with more colors that are more like neon and bright, maybe even see-through. That would be dope too. So that's going to be my review of this product, the JLab Go Sport. And I'm really testing out a different mic system and a different camera and whatnot. So if this did seem a little weird, trust me, I'm working on it. It was sort of unscripted because I wanted to do it in one take with the new mic system and whatnot. So really appreciate you hanging in there with me. Again, this is Adam. Truly appreciate you watching this video. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see y'all on the next one.